Hello and welcome to Deep Tech Talk, a tech podcast from BIS Research. I'm your host Saurabh Bhalerao, and today we have Evgeny Klochikhin, founder and CEO of Sheeva.AI, to discuss the in-vehicle payments market. Hi Mr. Klochikhin, thank you for joining us today. In today's session, we will try to uncover some deep tech insights around in-vehicle payments and understand how it is going to impact the overall automotive industry. Can you tell us about what in-vehicle payments are and what is the importance of in-vehicle payments?
In-vehicle payments is not really new. A lot of OEMs, automotive manufacturers, have been looking into this space for quite some time, as well as service providers. The key has always been that consumers are eager to test and try various ways of paying for services and various conveniences out there.
Yep.
Therefore, in-vehicle payments is a big market that has been brewing for some time. And one of the issues that we found, and you highlighted in your report, is basically customer engagement, meaning that everyday value and everyday use of these systems
Yep.
has been a little bit of a challenge. And that is where we at Sheeva.AI, as well as many other companies, are actually trying to look at how to better involve the customer and better
Yeah.
to produce an experience that will be helpful for them in an everyday life. And then the
Yeah.
definition of in-car payments, therefore, is fairly simple. If you can pay for something from within your vehicle without leaving the comfort of your car, that is defined as in-vehicle payments. And hopefully our approach, which is all location-based, one-touch activation of the gas pump,
Yeah.
electric vehicle charging spot, or parking session, will be the best approach here and the easiest approach,
Yeah.
which again, multiple of the automotive manufacturers are looking to implement today.
Okay. That was rightfully said, sir. And sir, can you shed some light on the key drivers for the in-vehicle payments market, which will drive the growth of this particular service in coming years?
In my view, one of the key drivers is mobile kind of payments utilization altogether, digitization. Because as we know, during COVID, a lot of people started to switch to contactless payment methods. Good examples are Apple Pay, Google Pay. Another trend that we know specifically in India has been the law of digitization, moving outside of cash from 2016, that basically exploded with companies like Paytm, PhonePe, and and GeoMoney. So various digital wallets came up, and UPI payments altogether became available in India. So basically, with all those different tracks, which are all digitalization of payments and really experiences, utilizing either a mobile phone or a vehicle or any other mobile device per se, that has been the key driver for this business and for this market, which is going to continue to explode because people are moving away from cash more and more. And even utilizing your credit cards inside the digital wallet became so easy because it provided a contactless experience and really cutting off those steps from your user experience journey.
Correct, sir. And so, just as a coin has two sides, I'm sure that there would be other challenges also regarding the in-vehicle payments which are being faced by the users or companies. So, sir, could you just highlight few of the challenges that are currently present in the market and how the companies are looking to uh, overcome such challenges?
Thank you for this question. So the key challenge really is basically combining all the pieces of the market together. Because when we talk about payments, we talk about the money flowing from one object or subject to the other subject, and then really settling somewhere out there and managed by the banks and any other financial institutions. So basically, this has been the main trouble as to how can you connect distribution, which is being, put in some type of technology, some interface into the vehicle or into the OEM companion app, and then connecting it to the collecting those payments, then pushing that money over to the service provider, being it, for example, a fuel station or an electric vehicle charging company or a parking company, right? So really managing that money and then involving, the networks such as Visa or Mastercard or UPI, NPCI, in the case of India. So really combining those pieces together is the main challenge of this market. But once it's out there, then consumer comes to play, and for consumer to make sure that they see this everyday value, that they could observe certain, for example, discounts as part of this program, that they can observe some loyalty rewards. So really making sure that the consumer does receive that value as the ecosystem comes together is very critical. And then obviously once it's all combined and synergized, that's when we believe it will be a huge boost to the in-vehicle payments market, which hopefully will come in this year itself.
Yeah, rightfully said, sir. So basically, as you rightfully mentioned, the complexity of this entire system is one of the major challenge. And sir, would you like to highlight something related to cyber security or the pose that cyber attacks poses for this particular market?
Yes, of course. So cybersecurity, and not only that, but also data privacy are two core things. Because obviously, when you record those transactions, you have to define the customer and define the person, because money cannot be faceless, right? Otherwise, we go into the shadow economy, and then we go back to what the limitations of cash are. So basically, making sure that we can create an architecture that is both protective of the data related to that customer and authentication data in particular, so that no one else can basically use your payment method. That is number one. And number two, making sure that it's what we would call in the United States PCI compliant. PCI compliance is just a standard that is defined by the networks such as Visa, Mastercard, or American Express, to make sure that your raw credit card data or raw, say, UPI bank account data is not passed freely over the internet where it can be intercepted. And one way of doing it is utilizing multiple cryptograms, so tokenization approaches, which have become pretty standard these days, as to making sure that your raw primary account number information never passes between entities over the internet, even if it is SSL encrypted internet. And then that can prevent certain cybersecurity issues. And therefore protect us against attacks. However, as in any sphere of the world of the industry, as you know, it's still something that we have to pay a lot of attention and make sure that we are protected and we follow certain standards, so that the data for the customers, both from the privacy perspective and the payment perspective, is well protected.
Rightfully said, sir. And so, can you shed some light on the game-changing developments in the in-vehicle payments market?
In my view, the key development has been that certain payment architectures have become more digitalized, and therefore APIs have been exposed. What I mean by this is essentially, if you can pay with a mobile app for certain services, that means that those APIs, those digital architectures, are already in place, and therefore they can already be utilized by companies like Sheeva.AI, where we would connect to those existing APIs, which sometimes are referred to as retail automation APIs in certain industries, such as, for example, energy industry, fueling, and EV charging, and then utilizing those APIs to activate the point of service, or to pay for fuel, for electricity, for parking. And exposing those APIs is the core development that have been happening in the industry from multiple service provider perspective. And hopefully that continues, and that provides this opportunity finally to connect the vehicle into the ecosystem as an authentication method and as a better user convenience method to deliver those payments to customers and services.
Correct, sir. And sir, if we talk about the future opportunities in this particular market, so can you please highlight the role of 5G or artificial intelligence in in-vehicle payments?
I believe two words define what the future of in-car payments is. One is personalization, and another one is contextual. So those are the two words that have been the guiding star for Sheeva.AI as we develop our location-based payments and vehicle commerce platform. Whereas you as a customer, as a consumer, sometimes some of us prefer to go to fuel at the station to get some petrol when we're, for example, 10% full only, right? Basically an empty tank. Some of us would prefer, hey, I see this cheapest price as I go. I want to go there whenever. Meaning, say, for example, maybe I'm 90% full of tank, but I still go on fuel because I see a better price. So all of us are very different. The way how we behave is very different. The way how we make decisions about receiving those services and pay for those services is always very, very different. Therefore, artificial intelligence can help us really define what are those personal features are of individual consumers and make sure that we tailor any solution for you. Right? So, for example, low fuel alert. When should we trigger you to guide you to the nearest and cheapest gas station? Fuel station. So that should happen when you are expecting it rather than just average customer, right? So that's where artificial intelligence is very important to really deliver those mechanisms and data analytics that can help us identify the personal preferences of every customer, literally every customer. And then 5G, generally, this is important for the development of interconnected world because in the end, we're still live in the hardware world. Even the vehicle itself is a piece of hardware. Therefore, 5G allow us to better and more stable connection between the vehicle and the cloud, and therefore push more data into the cloud if necessary. We also have fuel stations. We also have those servers that are defining all of this. We also have electric vehicle charging stations that, as you probably know, if you look into that market, they go offline very often. And therefore, because those electric vehicle charging stations are a lot and they're kind of distributed much more than fuel stations. So really making sure that they're always staying connected. 5G will definitely help with that. And therefore, you have a lot of value from those 5G and artificial intelligence technologies into this industry.
Right, sir. So can you also mention some of the leading market players in this industry?
I believe in the end, the leading players of this industry are OEMs, automotive manufacturers, because it's up to them how to decide and how to understand what to be launched. Um, OEMs themselves obviously often go back and to their suppliers for some engineering help and to design those systems. And therefore, for example, our company, Sheeva.AI, we work with the OEMs to make sure that they have the right tools to deliver in-car payments experience to their customers and make sure that the services are delivered. There are other companies such as CarIQ, P97 networks in the United States, and some tier one suppliers themselves are also looking to support this marketplace. And good examples are, Ferracy Aptoid has one, Harman has Harman Ignite, their marketplace. Bosch has a lot of activity going on there. So therefore, you have big players and you have new players coming into the market. And I'm sure most of them you did reference in the report, which was very nicely done. Thank you so much for this tremendous work as we're trying to understand and promoting our payments market altogether.
Thank you so much, sir. And one last question from my end, sir. So, how you see Shiva.ai making an impact in the in vehicle payments market, and what will you say regarding the USP for Shiva.ai?
Um, our goal is to make sure that we deliver the most seamless and best experience to the user. As I mentioned to you, the key trouble, the key challenge in this market has been user engagement, making
Yeah.
sure that we provide this value every day to the customer, that they can use something that they see the value, right? And it's not something which is, hey, you need to change your oil in 9 months. right? No,
Yeah.
it is about, if I go to the fuel station, I want to have an easy way to pay and use it from within my car without even leaving or even talking to the operator, like in India would be, right? So can I do this? And that's what Sheeva does. The main unique selling proposition that we have is really this one-touch experience, which is based on our patented precise location technology, where we can detect the vehicle exactly at the point of service, be it in the fuel dispenser, being at the electric vehicle charging station, being at the parking spot. So now imagine you as a driver, you arrive there, you stop at the fuel dispenser, and the interface, the actual user experience interface, just pops up saying, "Hey, welcome to Indian Oil," or "Welcome to Shell," "Welcome to ExxonMobil. You're this gas pump. Do you want to activate it? Do you want to pay for it?" And then you, as a user, do not need to remember as to, hey, now I need to open a new app. I need to request that QR code in India, right, to scan and make sure that I can pay for services. So really cutting off those steps and making sure that it's there for you as an assistant. It's there for you to push this information based, again, on our patented precise location technology, which can detect the vehicle right at that fuel dispenser, right at that parking spot. So making sure that we can do it under 2-meter accuracy. And that is the key value, which we've seen as the core for the user experience. And the good thing is that transactions are already happening now. We already are deployed on a few vehicles in with users who experience it for fuel payments in India, and we're doing similar process in the United States and other countries of the world. So we're very happy to share that this is needed by the users, and we see that feedback from the users that this makes their lives more convenient.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Klochikhin, for sharing your invaluable insights on today's topic. I am sure this would give a clearer understanding to interested listeners on the prospect of in-vehicle payments market. Thank you for tuning in and listening to Deep Tech Talk, a tech podcast by BIS Research. In case you wish to know more about different industries, do visit our website at bisresearch.com and read through the different market intelligence studies that have been published by us across industries. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow us on Spotify and Amazon Music.